differences in second language acquisition. The difference.
কিন্তু স্যার এসি মানে ঠিক না করার কারণ কি স্যার? শুরু হয়েছে
E1 এ আবার ওই মাঝে সাথে ইয়ে করতে হয় তো রুটিন একটা ফলো ছবি তোলার দরকার নেই, পাঠাই দিচ্ছি। এই জন্য ওই মাঝে সাথে নিচের E1 মনে হয় আজকে করছি, আস্তে আস্তে গ্রাজুয়ালি করবো। Okay, so individual differences. Amra naturally we see that the difference between you and your brother and sister. What is the difference of gene? Okay, the difference between you and your sister, you and your brother, the gene difference is very meager. Okay, like 0.000005. Okay, but the difference of liking and disliking between you and your brother are far more distant. Okay, that means what you like your brother may not like, what you like your sister may not like. Okay, so in case of individual learning difference, okay, that means you see, that means they are of same age, the children. Okay, but one's expression is different from other. কেউ হয়তো খুবই জলি মুডে, কেউ হয়তো কমপ্লেন্টেটিভ চিন্তা করছে, কেউ হয়তো কাজ করছে। So how it works in second language acquisition, that we will try to understand. Okay. So in case of individual differences in second language acquisition, according to some parameters, intelligence, aptitude, intelligence, that means this one student may understand a thing quite easily and quickly, other student may not understand the things quite easily or quickly. That is called the intelligence. So intelligence of one student is different from others. Aptitude, that means ability of understanding the content of second language, that will also be different from learner to learner. Learning style, that means once upon a time we had, আমরা ছোট সময় যখন পড়তাম তখন আমাদের দাদা বলতো যে এই জোরে জোরে শব্দ করে পড়ো, জোরে জোরে শব্দ করে পড়ো। আবার কেউ কেউ আবার কোনো শব্দ না করেই পড়ে। দ্যাট ইজ দ্য লার্নিং স্টাইল। Someone can understand quietly if you read aloud, and someone can understand better if they read without creating any sound. Okay, that is the learning styles. Someone may read in the library, he or she might feel comfort reading in library. Some other may read in the reading room in your home. Okay, এখন ফ্ল্যাট কালচারে তো রিডিং রুম পাওয়া একটু কঠিন। দেখা গেল যে 2 রুমের ফ্ল্যাট, কোথায় রিডিং রুম, কোথায় স্লিপিং রুম, আইসোলেশন থাকে না। বাট সামওয়ান মে চয়েস, দ্যাট ইজ দ্যাট হিজ লার্নিং স্টাইল। সামওয়ান and personality, that means how you will be attaching to the second language. That means motivation will be there. If you are motivated, then you can understand a thing quite easily. That means if you are motivated, there are 2 kinds of motivation: intrinsic motivation and extrinsic motivation. Intrinsic motivation, that is without any profit. If you want to learn a language, That is, if you ask a question, why do you learn a language, second language? You say that yes, I love English language. I want to read English newspaper. I want to watch English movies. And for this reason, I want to learn English language. This is intrinsic, without any profit. You want to learn language. And extrinsic, that means if you learn English or if you do a degree, then you will get a promotion. That will be the extrinsic. That means with a profit. That is. But motivation is important. So if you are motivated, then half thing is done. It may be French language, it may be Japanese language, any language. So if you are highly motivated, then language learning will be easy. So this motivation will differ from learner to learner. And also attitude, how you will be expecting the language and the language culture. Okay? If you want to learn Russian language, but if you do not like the culture of Russian people, the language learning will not be effective. So attitude, identity and ethnic group affiliation. Identity, that means language is the identity of a nation. We are Bangladeshi, our language is Bangla. So Bangla is our identity. England, the country's name is England and their language name is English. So English is their identity. And some person do not want to surrender their identity by learning other language. Because for many years, Japanese, they would not learn English. They want to use Japanese language. Why? They think that Japanese language is our identity. If we learn other language, our identity will be violated. And for this reason, I will be using Japanese language everywhere. That is the ethnic identity or ethnic tolerance or ethnic affiliation. But someone may say that yes, for the cause of globalization, for the cause of international tourism, for the cause of international business and others, I want to learn language. That means they want to surrender their ethnic affiliation. Affiliation that means নিজের ভাষা এবং জাতির সাথে তার যে একটা পরিচিতি, এটার থেকে যদি লিবারাল অ্যাটিটিউড সে ফিল করে যে আমি অন্য ভাষা শিখবো, তাহলেও সে শিখতে পারে। লার্নার্স বিলিফ also is very important. There are some social and cultural belief regarding language. Once upon a time, Indian subcontinent, many people would think that English language is a foreigner language, so I will not learn the language. But in the greater part of India, they accept English language quite easily. And for this reason, you see that the Indian people, they are very much efficient in English language. But in case of Bangladesh and other parts, they have learned language slowly. This is for their beliefs. That means English language is not our language. It is the language of foreigners. So I will not learn the language until and unless I am bound to learn this language. At present we are bound to learn this language because Bangladesh is not within Bangladesh. Bangladesh is all the world. So there are many multinational companies in Bangladesh. They are doing business around the world. So you may not like English, but for the cause of your business, you have to learn language. If you have the tourism company, then you have to visit some other countries. And for this reason, you have to learn English language. So at present, we are bound to learn language, disregarding the learner's belief. So every learner will have a belief. But if the learner surrenders the belief and wants to learn the other language for the necessity, then they can be successful in second language acquisition. And the age of acquisition, that is very vital. আমরা বলি যে age doesn't matter, শেখার ক্ষেত্রে কোনো বয়স নাই, but in case of second language learning, according to the research, that means earlier the better, because children learn language quite easily. Their brain is free. Whenever they listen a thing, okay, within the same 3 years, every child learn language. Okay, it may be Bangladeshi, it may be Japanese, it may be Singaporean, any language child. Within the 3 years, he or she can learn the language. And within the 13 years, the language learning or language acquisition will be quite easily. How? Because as long as you will be grew up, যতই আপনাদের বয়স বাড়বে ততই আপনাদের ইনভলভমেন্ট বাড়বে, ব্রেন বিভিন্ন জায়গায় একশো থাকবে, সংসার, পরিবার, চাকরি বিভিন্ন কিছু নিয়েই হচ্ছে ব্যস্ত থাকে। এজন্য এজ হচ্ছে ভাষা শেখার ক্ষেত্রে একটা গুরুত্বপূর্ণ নিয়ামক। সো এজ অলসো প্লে ভাইটাল রোল ইন কেস অফ সেকেন্ড ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ অ্যাকুইজিশন। So earlier the better. Still, if you are motivated, age doesn't matter. Okay, but there are some, in case of intelligence aptitude, that may be different from learner to learner. But there are some common things in all second language learners. That is personality, motivation, learning style, aptitude, and age. Personality, motivation, learning style, aptitude, and age. So aspects of SLA influenced by individual learners factors, identification of the classification of learners factors, personal and general factors, group dynamics, competitive school language learners, etc. Attitude to the teachers and the course materials. Also attitude to the teachers, and so the course materials also may affect second language acquisition. So if you are very much eager to the learning activities, that means course content, then you will be motivated to learn the language. If you love the teacher, if you love the teacher's expertise, then the learning will also be benefited. Okay, so attitude to teachers and the course materials also play roles in second language acquisition. Individual learning techniques, that we have also said, that is what learner's technique will be different from others. So these are the general factors: age, aptitude, cognitive style, motivation, and personality. Okay. There are the two basic possibility regarding which aspect SLA is affected by individual learner's factors, that is age, learning style, aptitude, motivation, personality result in differences in the route along with the learner's path in SLA. The other is that these factors influence only the rate and ultimate success of SLA. These are separate issues. To claim that individuals vary in the rate at which they learn or level of competence they eventually attain is not controversial. Okay. Indeed, it is a part of most language learners and teachers' experience. However, to claim that the individual difference influences the sequence or order in which linguistic knowledge is acquired is far more controversial. It runs counter to the argument that evidence in favor of the natural root development. Okay, so these are the factors. Okay, that means age, aptitude, cognitive style, motivation, and personality. But every language will have a root. Root means every language will have some grammar. Every language will have some structure, singular, plural, gender, okay, tense, okay, structure. Okay. So these factors will play vital role in second language learner to learner. However, if we follow the natural route of second language learning, then these factors may not affect in second language learning. What is that? That means every language will have a general root, common root, that is structure, vocabulary, singular, plural, subject, verb, agreement, tense. Okay, this is in every language. So the criticism is that if we follow the natural route of learning the language, these factors may not affect in second language acquisition. Rather, this will be this thing, age, aptitude, cognitive style, motivation, and personality may affect in second language acquisition. Fillmore, 1979, points out that one hand individual differences are seen as an all-important factor, while on the other hand they are treated as relatively insignificant. Okay, and for this reason, some scholars they said that these things are important. Age বললাম, মোটিভেশন, পার্সোনালিটি, কগনিটিভ স্টাইল, কিছু কিছু স্কলারদের মতে এগুলো গুরুত্বপূর্ণ ভূমিকা পালন করে, আবার কিছু কিছু বলছে যে এগুলো গুরুত্বপূর্ণ ভূমিকা পালন নাও করতে পারে, ইনসিগনিফিক্যান্ট। Research which has concentrated on accounting for differences in the proficiency level of learners has tended to emphasize the importance of individual learning factors. How you will be trying to catch that language, how you will be trying to be mastered in the fluency of the language. আপনি কিভাবে প্রেজেন্টেশন দেবেন, আপনি কিভাবে প্র্যাকটিস, যদি আপনার ইন্টারেস্ট ভালো থাকে, মোটিভেশন ভালো থাকে, তাহলে আপনি এইটা এজ কোনো ফ্যাক্টর না, বরঞ্চ যখন অনেক বড় বয়সেরও কেউ যদি হচ্ছে ইন্টারেস্টেড হয়, মোটিভেটেড হয়, তাহলে according to many researchers, they can also be successful in second language learning. Research which has tried to examine the process of SLA has tended to play down their importance. And the identification and the classification of the different individual factors has proved to be problematic. The main difficulty is that it is not possible to observe difficulty qualities such as aptitude, motivation and anxiety. Okay. There is another factor, that is anxiety, that we have learned in case of Stephen Descartes' affective filter hypothesis. Okay. If a student becomes anxious about the result in second language learning will not be effective. That is granted. But how you will judge the anxiety? আপনি বললেন যে হ্যাঁ আমি মোটিভেটেড, আমার মধ্যে কোনো অ্যাংজাইটি নাই, আবার ওকে আমার অ্যাবিলিটি আছে। সো দিস অ্যাপটিটিউড, মোটিভেশন অ্যান্ড অ্যাংজাইটি, এগুলো সেকেন্ড ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ অ্যাকুইজিশনের ক্ষেত্রে ভূমিকা রাখে, কিন্তু এগুলো আবার কিভাবে নির্ণয় করবেন যে আসলে স্টুডেন্ট অ্যাংশাস কিনা, আসলে স্টুডেন্ট মোটিভেটেড কিনা? যদি বলা হয় যে আপনারা মোটিভেটেড কিনা, সবাই বলবে যে হ্যাঁ আমি মোটিভেটেড, তাই না? সো এটা আসলে অনেক সময় জাজ করাও যায় না যে আসলে whether students are anxious or not, whether they are motivated or not. These are merely levels for cluster for behaviors or not. Surprisingly, different researchers have used these levels to describe these sets of behavior traits. As a result, it is not necessary to compare and evaluate the result of their investigations. Each factor is not unitary construct but a complex features which are manifest in a range of developing behaviors. Okay. And Helke 1982 lists some of these affective, cognitive and social factors, affective and ability factors. So they have also researched these things. Okay. Personal factors are highly idiosyncratic features of each individual's approach to learning a self. Personal matters may vary from learner to learner. It cannot be identified as the general goal. Okay. Some students may learn the language quite easily, others may not learn the English quite easily. So these personal factors may not be identified separately, individual to individual. Some examples are provided by Schumann in a report of their own language learning experience. They include nesting patterns, the need for a secure and orderly home base before learning can effectively begin, transition anxiety, the stress generated by moving to a foreign place. তাহলে এই অ্যাংজাইটিটা কীরকম হয়? ওকে, অনেক সময় if we change your country and if you go to a foreign country to learn the language, there might have some anxiety in case of changing the place. Okay. And also the desire to maintain a personal language learning agenda. Suppose anxiety আবারও হতে পারে এরকম যে আপনি IELTS এ চাচ্ছেন 7.5. Okay, this is your agenda, but you can't achieve that. So your personal agenda might sometime raise your anxiety. আপনি প্রতিটা কোর্সে হয়তো A- রেজাল্ট করতে চাচ্ছেন, এটা আপনার পার্সোনাল এজেন্ডা, সেটা করতে গিয়ে অনেক সময় অ্যাংজাইটি in case of second language learning. The Schumann found that some factors strongly influence their SLA. especially anxiety and motivation. Motivation and also the anxiety. Anxiety may come for several reasons, for your personal agenda or for changing the places. Okay, if you leave your home country, আপনি নিজের জেলা থেকে ঢাকায় আসছেন ভাষা শেখার জন্য, এই যে এক জায়গা থেকে আরেক জায়গা আউট অফ কমফোর্ট জোনের বাইরে গিয়ে কোনো কিছু শেখার জন্য একটাকে অ্যাংজাইটি তৈরি হতে পারে। এই অ্যাংজাইটিগুলো SLA সেকেন্ড ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ অ্যাকুইজিশনের ক্ষেত্রে ভূমিকা রাখে। The general factors are variables that are characteristics of all learners. আদার্স যেমন অ্যাংজাইটি এবং মোটিভেশনের ক্ষেত্রে যেমন এজ সবার জন্যই একটা ইস্যু। ওকে, তবে আবার বলা হচ্ছে যে যদি একটা নির্দিষ্ট রুল ফলো করে ভাষা শেখা যায় এবং হাইলি মোটিভেটেড হয় তাহলে এজ কোনো ফ্যাক্টর না। General factors can be further divided into those that are modifiable, are likely to change during the course of SLA. তার মানে এই যে অ্যাংজাইটি অথবা মোটিভেশন আবার ইন্টারেস্ট, এগুলো কোর্স শুরুর সময় হয়তো অনেক বেশি অ্যাংশাস থাকতে পারে, আবার কোর্স শুরুর মাঝামাঝি সময় এসে আস্তে আস্তে অ্যাংজাইটি লেভেলটা কমে যাবে। ওকে, বিকজ the language might seem to you quite easy or you might get a friendly classroom. Okay, এই যে anxiety level অথবা motivation level, হয়তো প্রথমে আপনি হাইলি মোটিভেটেড ছিলেন, এটার কারণে পরবর্তীতে আবার বাড়তেও পারে, আবার অনেক সময় কমেও যেতে পারে। অ্যাংজাইটি প্রথমত হয়তো উদ্বিগ্ন ছিলেন, প্রথমত বিদেশে যাওয়ার পরে হয়তো উদ্বিগ্ন ছিলেন, প্রথমত নিজ জেলা ছেড়ে ঢাকায় আসার জন্য উদ্বিগ্ন ছিলেন, তারপরে কিছুদিন যাওয়ার পরে সেই উদ্বিগ্নতাটা কমে যেতে পারে, তখন আবার সেকেন্ড ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ লার্নিং এর ক্ষেত্রে সুবিধা হতে পারে। ওকে, সো such as motivation and that are unmodifiable do not change in its strength or nature as SLA takes place, such as aptitude. ওকে, কিন্তু অ্যাংজাইটি প্রথমত বেশি থাকতে পারে, পরে কমে যেতে পারে। মোটিভেশন প্রথমে কম থাকতে পারে, পরে হয়তো মোটিভেশন বেড়ে যেতে পারে, কিন্তু একটা চেঞ্জ হতে পারে না, সেটা হলো অ্যাপটিটিউড, অ্যাবিলিটি, ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ অ্যাবিলিটি। এটা হচ্ছে এই অ্যাবিলিটি যেটা হলো আপনার যদি ভোকাবুলারি কম থাকে, স্টক অফ ওয়ার্ড কম থাকে, তারপরে সেন্টেন্সের বেসিক যে স্ট্রাকচার, বেসিক যে প্যাটার্ন, সেটা সম্পর্কে যদি আইডিয়া কম থাকে, তাহলে এটা আবার চেঞ্জ হতে পারে না। তবে বাই গ্রাজুয়াল প্র্যাকটিস ইট ক্যান বি অলসো বি ইমপ্রুভ। Personal and general factors have social, cognitive and affective aspects. Social aspects are external to the learners, concern the relationship between the learner and native speakers of the L2, and also between the learner and other speakers of his own language. Okay, the social aspects can also be factors. In society, if you feel shy to talk to your classmates, হয়তো সবার সাথে, হয়তো ছেলে মেয়েদের সাথে কথা বলতে যদি লজ্জা বোধ করে, ওকে, এই সোশ্যাল ফ্যাক্টরসগুলো হচ্ছে অনেক সময় এই মোটিভেশনের ক্ষেত্রে, সেকেন্ড ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ অ্যাকুইজিশনের ক্ষেত্রে ভূমিকা রাখে। Cognitive and affective aspects are internal to the learners. Cognitive and affective aspects, that means what you can understand. Cognitive factors concern the nature of the problem solving strategies. Jigsaw, একটা ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ গেমস, তারপরে IQ, there is a process of IQ test, isn't it? Okay. এই জন্য cognitive factors concern the nature of the problem solving strategy, whether you can solve the problem of second language acquisition or not. It will be depending on cognitive factors. Different personal and general factors involved in all three aspects in different degrees. Okay. These personal and general factors can also be different from learner to learner. Aptitude, for instance, is thought as a primary cognitive in nature, but also involves affective and social aspects. Cognitive factor, that means the ability to understand the problem or ability in solving the problem, that can also be incorporated with social and personal factors. If a student will have the ability to learn the language, less ability, in that case, social factors. That means in the classroom, if every student starts helping each other, তাহলে যে স্টুডেন্টের কগনিটিভ অ্যাবিলিটি কম সেটাও বেড়ে যেতে পারে। Ability means aptitude. Ability. Cognitive means মানে বোঝার ক্ষমতা। Cognition. বোঝার ক্ষমতা। Kind of similar. Personality is primary effective and but also the social and cognitive sides. Age is a factor that may involve all three aspects fairly equally. It is because of the personal and general factors that make up an individual language learning styles are composed of social, cognitive, affective features, and they are so complex as a result of often rather quickly defined, nevertheless as a subsequent. Okay, so we see that this is the individual difference in second language acquisition. The general factors of learning second language acquisition is age, aptitude, personality, interest, motivation, learning style, attitude to teachers and course materials, social factors. These are the factors that may vary from learner to learner, but these factors may also influence second language acquisition. But according to research, it may also assume that if the learners follow the route of second language learning, if the learners are highly motivated, if they can surrender their belief regarding the second language and the second language country's culture, these factors may not also affect in second language acquisition. However, they can be grouped together under three headings: group dynamics, attitude to teachers, course materials, individual learning techniques. Okay, so this age, aptitude, motivation, interest, social factors, cultural factors, all things can be solved by group dynamics, and also the interconnectedness between teachers and the course materials, and also by applying individual learning techniques. Okay. So these are the group dynamics and the attitude and others. Okay, that means individual learning techniques. Okay. So following this group dynamics, individual learning techniques, and also by instigating your motivation and interest, you can overcome these individual learning techniques. So, okay. So effect of age is there. We have also talked. Okay. So this is the difference between individual to individual. Any question?